Hello Scorpio, welcome to your reading for the second half of July 2026. As always, it's going to be general, so if something doesn't resonate, just leave it for the next person. Let's welcome in the archangels, ascended masters, light beings, star beings, any other spirit guides you may have, Scorpio, and any animal, ancestral or dragon guides that you feel resonant with, that you wish to be present for this reading. Also our higher selves, okay. King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Hermit, and the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to grab just some more cards here just so we can get a clearer picture of what's happening with your King of Pentacles, prosperity, and your Page of Swords, curiosity there. Let's have a look. The Six of Swords, the High Priestess, Hanged Man, and the Two of Cups. I think there's something you're investigating here with regard to your prosperity. I think it's your sense of personal abundance, Scorpio. So your inner sovereign being, your inner prosperous being, your true self, your high frequency version self, your that part of you that really enjoys the good things in life, and perhaps you're looking to create a bit more abundance or a bit more of that type of feeling in your life. And you're kind of investigating that now, Page of Swords. And maybe there's something about your inner child that is activating here. It could be to do with your communication skills, your insight. The swords also talk about the element of air. So there could be some mind-body kind of breath work going on here as well. I feel like you're kind of accessing deeper aspects of yourself or your inner wisdom as well here with the High Priestess in your current energy. And with the Six of Swords, you're kind of moving into this higher self activation. You could also be asking yourself what abundance is for you, Scorpio, because everyone's idea of abundance and prosperity, it can be different from one person to the next. So maybe you're really kind of going within here to, maybe you're recreating some values. Wow, here we have the Hanged Man and the Two of Cups. So yeah, I think you might be reorienting some values here around abundance and prosperity and what that means for you. Because there's, sometimes it can be talking about monetary abundance, like financial wealth, and other times it can be talking about the abundance of your health and well-being, or the abundance of your connections or your vitality in life, your ability to enjoy life as well. And sometimes we don't necessarily have to have a lot of wealth in order to do that. Yeah, interesting. General direction moving forward, Four of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, and Hangman, you're kind of poised here to really come into a spiritual, I think a more holistic understanding of life, and spiritually what your, it's almost your idea of personal success and abundance and prosperity, and this beautiful good feeling here of the Two of Cups. Of there could be, maybe there's a relationship that you're in, and maybe you are, you and this other person are kind of having a a reorientation of values and really working out between you, you know, what's important for you as a couple. That could be something that's going on here. It could also be that you are coming into a greater understanding of your higher self. Perhaps your ego and your higher self are coming into a greater level of understanding of one another. Sometimes, you know, the ego can be that part of us that really pushes to drive like a lot of material wealth. But then, of course, the higher self can be that the more spiritual aspect, which, you know, may acknowledge the practical aspects of life and be able to kind of support yourself in terms of, you know, food, clothing, shelter, and that type of thing. But the higher self then also likes to add in these other high frequency things like creativity, spirituality, and really kind of accessing your inner wisdom and finding your soul mission and what it is here that you are here to do. And here we have a perfect flow on with the Hermit here, okay? You are soul searching at the moment, Scorpio. And in this process, I think you are preparing yourself to maybe pull back on this idea a little bit of, you know, generating this King of Pentacles wealth, which is a large amount of wealth, okay? Maybe you're going to be going, well, is that, you know, I think you're literally asking yourself, like, is a large amount of money going to make me happy? Is that what my life is about? Or are there other things? And is there a way that I could cut back on my expenses so that I don't have to have such a large income? Maybe there's some luxuries that you're letting go of here, Scorpio. And it could be for a time, you know, maybe you're going to experiment or try something or live in a different, maybe trying some different values that you're going to live by for a period of time. And then maybe you're going, well, I can always switch back if I need to. Maybe there's something like that going on here. It's interesting that, you know, this is almost like a king or a regal figure sitting here with the Four of Pentacles, you know, stone, like not moving, but just being very still, okay? And here's the other version of the King of Pentacles here. So it's sort of like if you've had an idea of amassing large amounts of wealth, Scorpio, maybe you're going to put that on hold, literally, and try something else for a time, possibly. Two of Wands, yeah. You could be looking at doing something in a new way. Looks like there's literally some ships coming in here. So it could be in terms of... King of Cups, yeah. So self-love, self-care. You're doing this, I think, as a means to kind of take care of yourself, to enjoy life more, possibly, okay, Scorpio. And yeah, what you may not be aware of is that this might be a challenge for you to go through a time where maybe you're going to sort of live by some different values and maybe have less income and, you know, lower your expenses. But it's really interesting because anything that we experience, we can learn from. And I feel like that as a result, what you may not be aware of is that by, I guess, looking at these two different ways of life, of maybe you've been amassing lots of income, you've been working your butt off, and, you know, having challenges with that, or the challenges that come with that. And maybe you're now reorienting value and going, well, on values and saying, well, if I can cut back on my income or cut back on my expenses, how would that go? Maybe you're going to experience both sides of this and then come back into like a balance of those two in some ways. But I feel like, yeah, there's something that you're wanting to challenge yourself here. This is alchemizing. It's also very creative, the Temperance, bringing things together in a new way. And, yeah, very creative. It's also kind of reflecting this Two of Cups here. So there could be, yeah, Temperance is a very expanded energy. So maybe by experiencing different ways of life and living in, according to different values for a time, you're going to really expand your view of, in particular, I think, what your idea of what abundance means for you and what success means to you, okay? Because one person's idea of success is not the same as the next, okay? So, yeah. And, you're bringing your inner wisdom on board here as well. Really nice. Queen of Swords and the Page of Cups. So this is, yeah, you really sitting on top of this, making some decisions here in alignment with your, it's been prompted by some curiosity, I think, because you're wanting to move towards a wiser way of being. Maybe you're thinking there must be another way, okay? And here you are really looking at that and making decisions in alignment. So you're combining your logic, your intuition, and your emotions in making this decision. We have the Page of Cups as well, okay, which is really awesome. So this just means that you're doing your research, Scorpio, you're doing your numbers, and you are going to work out a really great solution to this. I think it's going to be a little bit of an experiment, or also perhaps a bit of a quest. You do have the Two of Wands here. And the Wheel, wow, yes. This is also a very expanded energy, a very Jupiter energy, okay? So this is really going to expand your horizons, and it's really going to, it's a cycle. So I think you've been experiencing one type of cycle, and I think you're going to move into another cycle, which is really exciting. Two of Wands. Yeah. It's interesting because sometimes the King of Pentacles can be a little overly fixed and a little overly focused on the material wealth. So maybe, and you're literally, this is your inner child or a part of you here, Scorpio, has started to really question this. Okay, you're really going, not 100% sure about, continuing in that energy indefinitely. I'm not saying the King of Pentacles is a bad card, okay? But it's like you have this questioning energy right next to it. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is going to be an energy, a challenge of, but like I said, Scorpio, I feel like you're going to be doing your numbers here. I don't think you're going to be experiencing, although there will be an aspect to it, I guess. If you are reducing your income, reducing your expenses, there's certain lifestyle, I guess, certain ways in which your lifestyle will be affected. And maybe this could be an energy that you may feel as though something's missing, you're having to do without something. But let's grab the bottoms of the decks. But, it's going to be an energy or a challenge. The fives are challenges that you're going to move through and come out on top with this expanded view of, excuse me, life and your idea of what success truly means to you. Three of Pentacles. So a collaborative, creative energy. And maybe this is something, it's very interesting because we look at this four here, which is kind of very fixed and not really going anywhere. Yet the number just lower than that, the three, this is very creative and almost innovative. There's also a bit of delegation going on here. So maybe part of your decision making moving forward here, Scorpio, is that in, I guess, reducing your income and cutting costs and expenses, maybe you're going to be doing a little bit more DIY, okay, do-it-yourself stuff. Maybe you're going to be growing some food, maybe doing more, maybe kind of really activating your creativity and going, well, instead of paying someone else to do A or B or going somewhere, is there a different way that I could, that we could do that? And maybe you're really going to work together with this other person here to kind of work out, And this whole experience I'm feeling here could be quite enlightening, right? I'm almost feeling a little bit jealous it's not my reading, because this is kind of pretty cool. You've actually got the Seven of Pentacles here as well, which means you're going to be reflecting on what's working and what's not working, and you're going to be able to kind of tweak things as they go along. This card's pretty cool because she's obviously, you know, a bit into the esoteric and metaphysical, but she's also like in nature, being really grounded as well. So, you know, communing with nature could definitely be a thing that may be a part of your new lifestyle or the new way of being that you're looking into here, Scorpio. Which I'm, you know, pretty sure that's what this is sort of saying. So if that idea resonates with you and you've been thinking along those lines, this reading could be a confirmation of that. And here we have the Tower. So there's going to be some insights coming in for you. Yeah. Okay. And you also have, since you have the High Priestess, she's definitely in tune with the insights with the higher self. And also the Hanged Man. So there's a lot of direction here, or a lot of, I guess, symbols talking about the insights, the downloads, and the wisdom that you're going to be accessing here. And it's very much like a soul reading. This is very soulful reading for you, Scorpio, which is awesome. And here we have the World. Yeah. When I pulled this Wheel card, I actually thought this was the World initially, but this is still like the Jupiter energy. But here we have the World. So this is that balance of freedom and responsibility. So being able to cover your bases but feel free, happy, and, you know, satisfied, content as well here. This is more like the Saturn energy. So it is sort of working with some restrictions and the limits. And like I said, Scorpio, I think you will be doing your numbers here. The Queen of Swords is very savvy and no stranger to working through challenges and difficulties and being able to, you know, cover your bases, so to speak, that way. But yeah, the World card, beautiful blend of freedom and responsibility. A very prosperous, successful card, okay? Which is awesome, nice energy. And the Knight of Wands. So this could be one of those feelings that as you start to move into a new way of being or adopt some new values here, it's really going to help your enthusiasm, your passion for life, your inspiration here as well, Scorpio. Yeah, Knight of Wands. A lot of fire, transformation, action. Yeah, just awesome. Let's look at the bottom of here. Oh, we also have the Fire card, and it's the Queen of Wands. Wow. So this is being unafraid, courageous. This is also very relevant because this is a little bit like you're going to be doing something, I think, left field, out of the box. I kind of feel like maybe the King of Pentacles here is representing perhaps what people around you have done and perhaps what most people do, but the Queen of Wands is generally about creating a new mold, literally redefining yourself and calling your own shots, being very creative in the process, which we have mentioned with the Three of Pentacles here. So being creative and intelligent, Queen of Wands, being savvy, being, you know, tuned in as well, High Priestess, tune into your higher self, doing your soul searching here. And, you know, if you are just cutting back on some income or just going back to simplicity and being more present, then that's a different way to be. And that can just still definitely be Queen of Pentacles, because oftentimes I think sometimes there are people that have, you know, less money in the world or less income. And ideally they're not experiencing, you know, poverty. But sometimes when you've have less income, you do need to call on your creativity in order to create different types of experiences. And I feel that's what this reading is about for you, Scorpio. So, yeah, very interesting. Awesome. And, yeah, that's what I have for you. I hope that has been helpful. And, yeah, Two of Wands, new path here. Okay. And the interesting thing about Temperance is this is the infinity sign. So it's a little bit like looking at those spiritual soul aspects of life, and in terms of sustainability of mind, body, and spirit, I think, too. You also have the Hanged Man here. You know, what are the kinds of things that you're wanting to put into your lifestyle or your way of being that's really going to support you in the long term as well here, Scorpio. So, yeah, there we have it. Hope that's been helpful. Look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.